Okay, today we are Monday, the 14th of September 2015, and I will record the lesson 27. If you want the introduction of all that, you can go to my website about this book, The Way of Mastery. It's Everyoneweb, fr/The Way of Mastery. It will be written below the video. As you know, I'm not bilingual. I do some mistakes with the English language because I speak French in my daily life, but this book is in English, and for all the English people, I want to help people to know these wonderful lessons. Okay, so I begin. Lesson 27. The purpose of your life is to love. Beloved and holy friends, we come to abide with you in order to instruct you yet again in the way of knowing. Remember always that knowledge is perfectly certain. Knowledge is that which is unchanging, unchangeable, and unchanged forever. Knowledge is reality, and reality is love. Knowledge is the essence of your being, the essence of your soul. If anyone says unto you, I do not know, they are a liar and a hypocrite, though I would not suggest that you use those terms in your communication with them, but rather, whether in your own life or in relationship with a friend, wherever doubt seems to arise in the mind, remember only this. This mind is not currently choosing reality. It must, therefore, be choosing something else. The something else can only be that experience, that world of the ego. For we use the term ego to differentiate that state of awareness that is characterized by confusion, wearing the mask of certainty. When anyone says unto you, I don't know, or whenever the thought arises in your own mind, I don't know, rest assured that in that moment, that mind, your mind, is choosing to be other than what it is. What is it, then, that you know? I and my father are one, or I and my mother are one. I am intimately connected with that very source, from which all things have sprung forth. Because this is the truth, because it is the truth of your being, this means that for any situation that requires a decision, you have within yourself access to perfect knowledge, and perfect knowledge seeks to extend itself. Extension requires the realm of manifestation, the realm of form, the realm of individuation. Therefore, you as a body and a mind, abiding in space and time on a tiny planet, you are reality's decision to manifest itself in form, for no other reason than to extend its own nature. The happiness of the soul depends on its decision to extend only that which is loving. Because you are the manifestation of reality itself, of knowledge itself, of love itself. It must mean that in any given moment there is within you a part of the mind that yet remains free from the ego's authority. The part of the mind in which there already abides perfect peace, that part of the mind in which there already abides perfect certainty, that part of the mind in which there already abides the willingness to extend love without attachment. There is already within you that part of the mind that can deliver up to you the answer for each decision. The answer that helps to extend love first into your own beingness and then through it. For you can only give what you first receive, and in your giving, your receiving is completed. Therefore, indeed, beloved friends, if you would look to see what the purpose of your life is, it is quite simple: being only love. You can have no other purpose than to extend the treasure of your very self. Christ is God's only creation. Christ is that medium through which the unfathomable, mysterious, beyond comprehension source that I have called Abba, and goes by many names, extends itself into the creation of temporary forms to reflect throughout the universe. It reflects that which the universe itself is made of, where it comes from, what it is enveloped within, and that to which it eternally returns. Because you, like a wave unto the ocean, have been birthed from that reality, emerging from that reality, you are one with it. Therefore, you are Christ eternal, and that is unchanging and unchangeable forever. Within you, then, even in this very moment, there abides a part of the mind that already knows the truth that sets all things free. That part of the mind can be accessed at any time by anyone under any condition. That part of the mind, it does not require years of cultivation. Although in the field of time it can appear that you are getting better and better at it, simply because you are enjoying it more and more and giving value to the fear-based egoic ways of arriving at decisions less and less. That part of the mind is like an empty and open channel. Nothing can obscure its purity. Nothing. Nothing you have ever done. Nothing you have ever thought. Nothing you have ever miscreated obscures the perfect silence, the utter purity of your connection with the source of your being, for love is always connected to itself. What does this mean? First, anyone who truly enjoys the way of knowing must make a decision to accept the atonement for himself or herself. I am one with my Creator now. I choose to fulfill my purpose by extending only the reflection of myself, and I am but love. Second, anyone who would enjoy the way of knowing must also look and embrace the very fact that their attention is involved in the world of space and time, the world of the body itself. But in the way of knowing, the world of space and time is seen differently. The world is seen as something that exists external to the mind itself, not as something which has a power over the mind, or something to be feared, or that one must be conformed to. Rather, the things of space and time are seen and embraced as that which is given of the Creator to the Son, to the daughter, in order to be utilized as devices for assisting Christ to extend love. It does not matter whether it is a pencil or a computer or a trip to your grocery store or a party in which you invite your friends to come and play. All things finally come to be seen as having only one purpose: the extension of love. Putting your purpose into practice. Imagine a business person sitting down to negotiate the closing of a deal who goes to that part of the mind that is sane and says, "What price should I place upon this land that I am about to sell to this other corporation?" While his accountants and realtors have been telling him that the property is worth $1 million, he goes within, and the answer comes, "Ask only $250,000 and ask that another $300,000 be donated to such and such a charity." In your world, which is the world of insanity, the businessman would say, "Oh no, I can't do that. I cannot listen to that voice." But in the way of knowing, in the way of enlightenment, the businessman smiles and says exactly what was received. When the shock on the other person's face settles down, they will be quite happy to know that they have saved a lot of money, for in their world they think that the only way to have is to possess. But in the way of knowing and in the way of reality, the only way to have is to give. Now you are like that businessman. You abide in the world in which the business of your reality is to extend only love. Be you, therefore, not afraid of the world, for when seen through the eyes of the enlightened soul that accepts its oneness with God, the world of space and time is perfectly benign and has no purpose whatsoever except to serve Christ in the extension of love. This is why anyone who comes to answer only the voice for love miraculously finds that the universe comes to support that one in ways that the egoic mind can never understand. Miracles do occur as creation flows from a mind unencumbered with the pressures of trying to make life go the way it thinks it needs it to go. And here we begin to touch upon the essence of my teaching. I need do nothing. This is not a passive state of just accepting the fact that I need to do nothing, so I'll just show up and follow my impulses and not think too deeply or wonder what I'm doing. I really don't need to do anything since none of it matters. That is not it at all. It means quite actively to learn and master the art of you need to do nothing, to find that spaciousness within you in which you are willing to allow that voice within you that is eternally connected to your source to be the vehicle through which you receive your guidance, in the pure recognition that you have no purpose save the extension of love. It is not your purpose to survive as a body-mind. It's not your purpose to keep the same house you have had for the last 20 years. It's not your purpose to be in relationship with this person or that person for the entirety of the life of the body-mind. It's not your purpose to accomplish great things. It's not your purpose to be wealthy. It's not your purpose to do anything except be that conduit through which love extends itself. As you come truly to allow love to be your greatest beloved, as you set aside all other idols, the need to hold on to the house, the need to have certain dollars in the bank, the need to have certain people in your life, as you come to see that all of that is part of the world of illusion, as you come to love love, you will have to come to love yourself. For you are love and only this. As you come to love love, as your beloved, more and more you will discover that you are guided on a path of miracles in which more power seems to be getting extended through you. You will begin to witness that the universe seems to support you more and more in ways that you could have never imagined. Out of that you might indeed see the life of the body-mind changing, the car you drive, the home you live in, and the quality of the beings that come into your life. Yet you will be unattached to these things, for you will not see them as ends in themselves, but merely as the proof that the great wisdom of love that underlies all things is connecting you to new forms and new contexts, because it knows that now it can flow through you more powerfully, more certainly, more maturely, and more wisely. Therefore, seek not to improve your life by adding even 1 cubit unto your stature, but rather seek to improve your life by realizing your nature as love. How do you do that? By recognizing that in each moment you are in the right place at the right time. This is the moment in which love can be remembered, can be restored, and can be extended. This is the moment in which you can decide to listen only to the voice within you that knows how to extend love. Beloved friends, in the way of knowing, the illusion that there is something to seek vanishes. The mind is liberated from the misperception that there is something wrong going on in the world. The mind is so liberated that it knows, as long as it chooses love, as long as it follows the mysterious quiet within its own heart, that the choices it makes, the decisions it embraces, the actions it takes, and the thoughts that it thinks cannot help but serve in the further awakening of everyone and everything. So perfect is the love that embraces the whole of creation, God. You have heard me say to you many times that wherever you know a fearful thought, it can only mean that you are not thinking rightly. That is, you are not thinking with the mind of God, for God is but love. If $1 million were to come to you as Christ, you would say, "This must be the perfect experience for me now. How can I extend love in this moment?" And if in the next day your wallet is perfectly empty, the enlightened mind of Christ says, "This must be the perfect event for me to be experiencing now. How can I extend love in this moment?" The changing can never be the source of peace. The world of form, whether dollars in a bank, houses, cars, people, friends, lovers, pets, plants, and all the rest, can never be the source of perfect freedom. These things arise and pass away and are like ephemeral shadows, whips of foam dancing in an ocean. When the mind becomes identified with the form, that mind suffers. When the mind is liberated from attachment to form, it is free, for it is identified only with content or simply the reality of love. In any given moment, you have the power within you to experience the reality of love, unobstructed, unmediated now, without need of magical means, without need for the universe to arrange itself in any certain way whatsoever. In any given condition, you have within yourself the power to decide to literally feel and experience love. Love, or the experience of it, is a decision. It is not something earned, and it is not something created. It is that which is eternally present now as the very identity of your being, the very life and existence of your being. Once I said to a beloved brother, "Merely stand with arms outstretched and palms up. Open the heart deeply and ask whatsoever you will, and it shall be given you. But ask as the awakened Christ, asking from that place that knows only love is real. Therefore, take just a moment right now. Stand wherever you are with your arms outstretched and palms turned heavenward. Think about your own heart for just a moment and simply ask to feel and know the reality of love's presence. Breathe it into your heart. Open the cells of the body. Open the mind and simply receive what is available. Good. Now you can allow yourself to sit down again if you wish. If you think you did not get it, you are simply fooling yourself. It requires only this: daily meditation and exercises. We then give you this as a meditation to do in the way of knowing. At least once a day, arise from your chairs and stand with your arms outstretched and the palms up and say simply, "I open and receive the reality of love for myself now." You see, self-love is the pathway to perfect peace. Self-love opens all the doors. Self-love dissolves every illusion. I am not speaking of love for the illusions of the egoic mind with which you have become identified. I am not saying that you should say, "I love myself because I now have X amount of dollars in the bank. I love myself because I have a wonderful husband or wife. I love myself because I have a great dog." No. I love myself. With the big S. The self that is beyond time is that self from which even the body has emerged. Whenever you are in doubt, whenever your energy seems to have dropped, try a dose of celebrating, a simple dose of celebrating that you are in a perfect universe and you abide as love. The very fact that you have a body that has emerged out of consciousness in order to be used to extend only love is pretty miraculous. And you are free to celebrate that simple, essential truth in any moment. Then ask, who can I extend love to now? How can I experience love now? It is all much simpler than you think. In the way of knowing, there is knowing. If that statement seems puzzling to you, contemplate it as a meditation. In the way of knowing, there is knowing. There is no more powerful state of consciousness to act from than the state of knowing. For indeed, beloved friends, if you truly accepted yourself as Christ, you would know that you could not fail. And if you could not fail, what would you do with your time? If you knew you could not possibly fail, that the universe will support you completely at all times, as you choose only to act, to do, to think in a way that extends love, would you be living where you are currently living? Would you be doing with your time what you are currently doing? Many of you have answered no, because you think you must survive first in order to find a way to teach only love. In the way of knowing, the Christ mind recognizes it has no purpose whatsoever except to extend love. The body mind need not survive more than the next moment if in that next moment you have extended love and your guidance is time to be beamed up. Those that know that only love is real are not concerned with what they eat and what they drink, for these things come into the body and live through the body. They are concerned only with whether or not that which they consume for the sake of the body was consumed in love. For love is what allows the transmutation of anything that comes into the physical system and allows it to be turned to that which supports the energetic wholeness of the physical system itself. It is far greater to have a bottle of scotch for breakfast in a state of total crested love than it is to have 9,000 vitamins with one teeny little fearful thought. So that is something for you to think about. For you see, it is fear that causes you to be unable to digest what you place in the body. The body of the emotions or the body of the mind. It is what causes stress in the subtle system of the body and the subtle non-physical bodies, the emotional body, the mental body, and the causal body. What causes the greatest problem is your refusal to digest what you have taken in. Just as food is a physical substance taken into the body, an experience of any kind is a food that has been called to the soul. Anything that arises that cannot pass through you, through your unwillingness to embrace it with love, to feel it completely, will cause indigestion of the physical, emotional, mental, and causal beings or bodies. Just a little comment. This sequence is the multidimensional sequence or sequency of our being. Over the causal body you have the psychic body, and over that the atmic body. So the divine spirit in you contain your divine soul and your human soul at the causal level, and this will drive with intelligence and love your creativity, and after your mental body for the thoughts, your astral body for emotions, they didn't mention the etheric body, and for vitality, for example, is in tantric sexuality, or vitality in fresh fruits and vegetables, or vitality in fresh air. And after the physical body, you have all the sequence. See, so it's like that with what we eat, with what we receive as information, stimulation, actions of others that we watch. We can transform that with our divine spirit, our spirit of unity, with our divine soul, our complete loving soul, our love of our after our human soul, with our divine creativity, and with our Christic mind, Christic emotions, and the same with the Christic etheric body, and the reaction will be there on the physical body. So everything that we live is in that sequence. If we are in connection with what is higher inside of us, we will be able to transform what is more dense. But if we are not connected to divine creativity, to love, to divine intelligence or intuition or wisdom, we won't have this luminous energy to transform what is more dense. Okay, it's the two last pages. Therefore, beloved friends, learn to digest all things in love. Learn to digest the traffic jam in love. Learn to digest the dying of a pet in love. Learn to digest an apple in love. Learn to digest a hurtful thought in love. Learn to digest a misperception that there is something wrong with the world around you with love. Transform all things by the power of your only reality. Now I want to ask of you, what is it that you have refused to digest in this one incarnation? What was it an unfairness bestowed upon you by your mother or father? Was it the bad break at the office in which you got passed up for promotion? What is it in your life that remains undigested? There, something has come into the mind. Trust it. Stay with that one thought, that one picture, that one memory, for it has arisen in the conscious mind to be healed and transformed now. Bring your attention to it in this very moment. Look upon it, breath with the body, and say simply within the mind, I choose now to fully digest this by bringing love to it, by actually loving the event just as it was, loving the picture, the memory, the thought, just as it is. If you wish, you can stand with your arms out wide and your palms turned heavenward and receive the love that transmutes all things. Breathe that love. Feel that love in and through that picture, that memory, that feeling, whatever it is that is occurring for you, until it literally dissolves. If you do not feel that happening, even in your body, there is a part of you that is resisting letting go of what has been undigested. If that is the case, you need to ask yourself, why do I need to uphold my illusory perception about this event? What in me is committed to withholding my love? We would highly suggest that you spend some time each day asking the same question. What is it that I have not been willing to digest about this life and about this world? Where am I refusing to bring my love? Is it to your government? Is it to your Internal Revenue Service? Is it to the maid? Is it to the children? Is it to the pet? Is it to the school system? What is it that you have refused to bring your love to? For the greatest joy in life is to be the lover of life. For as you love, you experience love. Therefore, do unto others what you would have done unto yourself. And is that not to be loved? When you choose to love in any given moment, you are the one who gets to receive the benefits of love first. It is an immediate experience and it cannot be taken from you. You are free to choose yourself anytime you want by choosing only to love. In any given condition, you are the presence of that one to whom all power under heaven and earth has been given, not just to extend love as a duty, for it is not a duty, it is a pleasure. It is the supreme pleasure that can be experienced in the depth of any mind, whether you happen to be in the world of space and time, or, like me, out of it. You are the one that can experience love and let your cup overflow. You are the one who can enjoy each and every moment, regardless of that conditions. For the conditions are only the interpretations of the egoic mind. All events are neutral. They are there for you to love that you might experience love. That is really how simple it is. It has always been that way, and it will never change. You are the lover. The world can be the reflection of your beloved. Let each moment then find you in the simple, quiet, inner enjoyment that comes from the decision to love. Love the taking out of the garbage. Love the rain that hits the windows. Love the crying of the child. Love, love, love. Love embraces all things, allows all things, trusts all things, and therefore transcends all things. That is the power that abides within you when you finally choose to be that one who knows. Look well then this day and seize this day. Where can you simply change your mind and bring love to something that you have been withdrawing love from? For example, well, I've got to go to the office. No, you do not. You are choosing to go to the office. You might as well love it. Where, beloved friends, are you being presented with opportunities to experience love coursing through every cell of your being this day? What can prevent you from experiencing love if it is not but your own decision? For in the way of knowing, the liberated mind of Christ knows, there is nothing outside me. And with that, peace be unto you always, O holy child of God. Amen. Yes, love is a decision. It's our choice to love instead of being in any other state, inner state, where we don't feel this love. And it's a practice. Every day we can discover more rapidly when we are not feeling or expressing love for a situation, a person, ourselves. And we can change that more and more rapidly with practice. And we feel that it's only when this divine love flows inside of us that we are light. The two words of light, léger et lumière in French. It's not dense and with luminosity. This teaching is simple, but it's hard because it's so easy to have a reaction not with love, but it's also easy to watch ourselves and to change as rapidly as possible what we say, what we think, what we do, to try to be more and more in this energy where our life and the life of others around us are more and more beautiful. Thank you for every moment, every second of love in your day. Watch yourself in every moment. You will recognize what you feel, what you think, and you will be able to switch more and more rapidly, you too. And gradually we will be thousands, millions of people doing that, choosing to love first. And it will be a fantastic world. In my reading, I asked to myself, did I read this lesson before? I'm not sure, because I have read the book many times. So maybe I have recorded it. I will check after. You will have 2 videos of this lesson, if it's that. If not, it's the first one. I think I will record now the other lesson, the lesson 26, because I go from the end to the beginning. This was lesson 27, so I will go to the lesson 26. Thank you, and have a nice day with love.